Forget. Okay, welcome everybody to the Thursday night team call. Tonight is one of my favorite team calls that we do. It's called What is Beachbody Coaching? I love these ones because every coach that's on here has had their life change in some way or another with Team Beachbody through the programs, through the opportunity of sharing the programs with other people. And I'm super excited today because two of my coaches, or three of them, a couple, Eric and Dominique, and then also Karen White, are going to be sharing today their stories and presenting and helping you guys understand what it is we do. So that's one of the coolest things, right? It's kind of like being a parent. Like when you see your kids grow up and they're making the right choices and they're doing good things, you're like, yeah. So it's super, I feel very blessed to be able to see my coaches present, seeing them go through their transformations over the past couple of years, and now seeing them help other people. There's no greater feeling in the world. So I'm not going to waste too much time today, but I do want you guys to know that Beachbody has completely changed my life. I'm in the best shape of my life ever at 35. Originally in 90 days with P90X, I lost 38 pounds in my 90-day challenge. Lost 38 pounds, and it was the start to a complete life transformation for me, where our marriage is better. We have now not 3 kids, but we have 5 kids. And through Beachbody and helping other people get results, my main goal was to help bring my wife home from work, because I worked 12 hours a day and she worked every night at the hotel. And I just knew that wasn't how we were supposed to be living life. And then one day someone said, man, if you could get paid to do that P90X thing you're doing, that would be your dream job. And that's what sparked that in me, where I was like, I would love to do that, because I was already doing the program and helping people with it. And I was like, man, if I could get paid to do this versus sitting here in this cubicle and manage a shipping department, that would be a dream job. So I gave it everything I have. I've been a coach now for 5.5 years. And my wife and I both walked away from our full-time jobs 4.5 years ago. So I've been a stay-at-home dad for 4.5 years now. And we've worked from home helping people like you guys get results with these programs. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce first Eric and Dominique and Karen, and then they're going to let you know in what order they're going to go. I know Garrett's over there. Garrett's my best friend from high school. He's over there doing combat. You can look at the screen and find him on there. It's awesome seeing your friends do these programs. It's just so cool. But Karen and I, we met through some mutual friends. We'd always go to a Christmas party together, where we'd exchange white elephant gifts and all that fun, play some fun games. And it turns out she got some amazing results with P90X live classes. Like, you can do these workouts. A lot of big gyms host live classes. She had great results with that. She'll share her story. But she had a pretty big reason to get started on this and accomplished that already. So she's going to share. And then Eric and Dominique, they're like my little brother and sister. I love these guys. They live in Maui. They're the ones that are going to be giving all the details today. They'll share their story. But they do Beachbody coaching full-time in Maui, recently got married. And the coolest thing, guys, they got married and went on a 1-month honeymoon to Europe because they could work on their business while they were traveling. So because they could do it from anywhere, from doing the Beachbody on demand, doing the workouts on streaming it live on their computers with the internet connection, and then helping people via the internet and social media and Facebook with their challenge groups from wherever they were traveling in Europe. So with that being said, Eric, I'm going to throw it over to you, and then you guys are going to take it from here.
Awesome. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
All good? Awesome. We're actually going to toss it right over to Karen and let her get started. So Karen, if you want to unmute yourself here, the floor is yours. Look at those guns.
I don't have very much practice on muting myself. I had to figure it out. Okay, so do you want me to go ahead, or are you going to go, Eric?
Yeah, it's all you.
It's all me. Okay. So one of these days, I'm going to have a fancy office as my background, because I was just noticing as I was looking at my own video that there's like fingerprints on my window. So it's kind of embarrassing. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I'm really excited for this opportunity because I love the Beachbody program and its products. And when I really am passionate about something, I love to talk about it. So thank you for this opportunity. But I will be honest with you, when I've known about Beachbody for years, and when I had friends talk about it, I would go running the other way because I had no interest in Beachbody at all. And then the Beachbody Life program was offered at the gym I was attending, and my friend kept asking me for years to do it with her, and I kept turning her down, like thinking that I could do it on my own. And then like 7 months after her pressuring me to do it, and I wasn't doing anything on my own, I finally decided to join. And it was the money that like raised my level of commitment that made me have success, because I was not seeing success before. But when I threw down that money, like I can't afford to fail if I'm going to pay that much money. And so that just raised my level, and that's when I really started seeing changes. And probably like 2 months into the program was when I really I was really seeing huge changes in myself, not only physically, but internally. And I was excited. So I wanted to share this with everybody. And I kind of started by making my own stupid little website and sharing some tips and advice on it, hoping that people would kind of catch on and it would help maybe people with the same struggles as I was having. And somebody caught on to that. I don't even know who they are to this day. I should probably find them and thank them for this. But they had asked me if I wanted to be a Beachbody coach. And I had no idea who this person was. And I'm like, nah, it's not for me. I'm not going to do it. But then as I was thinking that, I was spending so much time on this website and like not getting paid for it. And I was spending so much time working outside of the home. And I had a job inside of the home too, which I'll tell you about in just a minute. But I was spending too much time to do this for free. So I was thinking, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. If I did Beachbody coaching, the products are already there. I mean, the content is there. I don't need to recreate anything. We've already got the top of line trainers and nutritionists and nutrition plans that I don't need to create my own thing. I can use this resource to help others. And so I thought this was a good idea. So I sought out Scotty because I knew him, like he had mentioned, from a mutual friend. And I knew that he was really good in the industry. And if I was going to do this, I wanted to learn from the best. And so I went and met with him and decided it was something I wanted to do, something that I could do. And I jumped on board. And at that time, I was tying fishing line. And let me tell you first, I'm a mental health case manager. That's what I do for I guess it's part-time job, but it feels like full-time. And then I was tying fishing line as a side job to supplement my income for daycare costs because I've got 2 boys. And I would spend like 3 hours every night tying fishing line. And I'll tell you, like, it is the epitome of a dead-end job. Like, there is no satisfaction in that at all. It's just like the same thing over and over, day in and day out. And it was just not meeting my needs for self-achievement. And so when I did Beachbody, like my first goal was to get rid of that fishing line because I was not enjoying it. And when I started Beachbody, like I loved it. I love helping everybody. And I like immediately felt satisfaction in the work that I was doing. And when I jumped on board, I was posting on Facebook everything that I was doing and people were reaching out. And I had a lot of success right off the bat that I was able to throw that fishing line out the window within a month. And that was super exciting for me because it is the complete opposite of a dead-end job. I mean, there is so much potential in Beachbody, and it is what you put into it. I mean, you can, the sky's the limit. And it has so much more satisfaction because I have learned so much from Team Beachbody. And obviously, like my physical transformation, as you see in the picture, is huge. But like my internal transformation as well, and it is one thing that I was not expecting at all. Like I was not expecting to be, when I started P90X, I didn't know that I would be like more self-confident. And I mean, I guess in a way, sort of I expected it, but not to this extent. It has helped me be more self-confident. And if you would have asked me to make this presentation like a year ago, I would have said no. Like there's no way I'm doing this. And not that I feel like I'm the best at it, but I feel like I've gained the skills and the character traits needed to be able to do this. And I probably threw my thoughts together maybe 20 minutes before I even started. And there's no way I could have done that like a year ago. And so Team Beachbody has given me skills that I have developed that I never had before. And so to me, that's huge. And the money's huge. Like I love having the money. Like it's rewarding, I'm not going to lie. But to be able to help people like is an honor. I've always kind of wanted to be like, I guess, a legend, so to speak, to be that person that when I die, I want people to know that I helped them and have something nice to say about me. And so by doing this, I feel like I have that ability and that opportunity to help people. And, you know, just the past few months in helping my customers, they have come up to me and said things like, hey, Karen, I have already lost 20 pounds and my goal was only 15, and I still have 2 more weeks until my goal date is done. Or, hey, Karen, I don't go to the fridge anymore when I'm feeling emotional. I go and find other strategies to cope with my emotions. Or I can fit into my clothes, or I've upped my weight from 5 pounds to 10 pounds. Like, things like that are so satisfying to me, and it's fun. Like, it's a fun job that I probably, you know, the money's great, but like I probably would do it for free because I love it and I love helping people. And so as part of coaching, that's kind of got to be your genuine desire, is to help people and to help them succeed, because then the money will follow. If you worry about the money first, you're probably not going to be successful. But I just love this program. I don't regret it for a minute deciding to be a coach. It has done so much for me, not only like physically, but internally and financially. And it's just an honor to be part of this team. And you can mark my word, everybody, 1 year from today, I will not be working outside of my home. And I will have that fancy office, Scotty, as my background. Well, maybe not that fancy, but something close to it. But guys, I think that's all I've got. I don't know, is there anything else that I need to present? Good, okay, I'm muting myself now.
Now we got to figure out how to unmute ourselves. We'll get there. Awesome. Well, thank you, Karen. So much of what you were talking about is, I think, resonated a lot with Dominique and I, and it was just like, yes, 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 every ounce of it. And Dominique and I are excited. We're really excited to talk with you guys tonight about something we're so passionate about. And it might be the pre-workout or all the coffee, but I think it's mostly the passion. So we're going to jump right into it, give you a little bit of background about us. Scotty kind of touched on it, but we are newlyweds. We got married 5 months ago here on Maui. We are the founders of Team Perspire to Inspire, which is our team of coaches. Dominique went diamond her first 6 days as a coach. So if you don't know what diamond means, it's just kind of one of the first leadership ranks in Beachbody. We have over 100 coaches on our team all across the country and Canada that we love getting to build this culture and build this team with. We've helped thousands of people transform their health in the last couple years. We've been full-time coaches 6 months after becoming coaches, like Scotty was talking about. Dominique is a Success Club All-Star, and again, that's Beachbody lingo, just for she's helped a certain amount of people with their transformations each month for the last 12 months. So she's been super consistent. She's also a certified Insanity, Size, and Turbo Kick instructor. We just did a workout at Scotty's retreat in Utah, and everyone was like huffing it. It's so funny to see big old buff people like huffing and puffing after a little girl like this workout. But it's awesome to see. She's an amazing instructor. I might be a little biased. She's also lost over 20 pounds since starting. She started with 21 Day Fix. I started with the Body Beast program. I gained over 20 pounds muscle. And we were those people who, like Karen and Scotty talked about P90X. We tried to do that. We got P90X 3, so not even the full version, the 30-minute workouts. And we do it for a couple weeks, and then we kind of fall off. But we eventually, we'll talk more about it later, but we kind of found what works best for us. And that's what is cool about Beachbody and all their programs, is there is literally something, for everyone. Whether you want to lose weight, gain muscle, anything in between, or like Garrett's on there right now, kicking butt. So that's kind of where we are now in our lives. But it definitely wasn't even like this a year ago, definitely not 2 years ago, and definitely not 5 years ago. And that's kind of, actually, before I even get on to that, I just wanted to thank you guys, every one of you, for taking the time to hop on here with us. I know time, let's be honest, is the most valuable resource we have, right? Money, everything else is going to come and go, but where we put our time and what we do with our time seems, at least to me, seems to be one of the most important things, because that's what we decide to do with that little dash in between the day we start our lives and the day we end it. So again, just thank you guys for hopping on here. And speaking of time, which is where I'm going to kind of start with my end of the story, and then I'll toss it over to Dominique. I was a pretty average kid growing up. I saw Roxana's on here, so she knew me in high school. I was voted most quiet in high school. I just kept to myself. Actually, I was voted most quiet and best smile. So apparently I would just walk around and smile and not say anything. And it's still kind of like that today, but I'm working on it. And yeah, I loved sports growing up. It was my outlet. That was everything I did. If I wasn't at school, I was playing sports. And it was just kind of my outlet for expressing myself and being a part of a team and being a part of, again, a little culture, even when we're 13, 14 years old. And so that was my life up until high school. A week before I started college is when my life started to get a lot different. And I thought I was going to go to college and become a physical therapist and basically just work in, the health industry for the rest of my life. But at 19, everything kind of got turned upside down. It was a week before I was going to start classes at Portland State University. And I got a call, and my dad, who had some blood thinner issues and everything like that, he was in the hospital. And then I found a couple of days later that he passed away. So that was a big turning point at 19 years old, where a couple of days before that, the thoughts going in my mind were like, am I going to pass these classes? Like, where's the party going to be next weekend? Can I fit in at Portland State? And then it's going to like a complete 180 of like, what's the purpose of living? Where do we go after we pass away? Just very different questions that I started to ask myself that completely changed the direction of my life. And that actually led to a very, very tough time in my life where, again, like I said, I was a very quiet person and had a lot of anxieties and insecurities. And the way that I would cope with that, or how I would feel comfortable with myself, is by drinking and partying. So I would do that 5 or 6 nights a week the first couple years of college. And after a while, the compound effect kind of kicks in, right? And so that had a very negative consequence. And I kind of put myself in my own little depression and really wondered, like, what's the purpose? Like, what am I really doing in life? That feeling when you just feel misaligned with what you're supposed to be doing. And so I just knew I needed to make a change. I needed to do something different. And I went and reached out to a counselor on campus. I just started talking through these things. And probably the most impactful thing that I did was I picked up a book that was on anxiety. And I had no idea at the time, but this was a self-help book. And I didn't even know what a self-help book was, but it helped me. Self-help. But it helped me just start to realize I'm not as weird as I think I am. These thoughts that I'm having, I can change them. There's other people who feel like I do, disconnected from the world, not being their true selves, not comfortable in their own skin. So it was really like that first book and the counseling and just wanting to make little changes. And then fast forward like 6 months later, I had this big turning point, and maybe one of the most impactful days of my life. And I just had a lot of energy that day. And like I said, I was a very quiet person, and I just started talking to people. And that was like my biggest fear, right? It's just like talking to people. When I started talking to people at work, and it was like, once I realized that I could talk to people, as simplistic as that sounds, like it opened up all my belief system. Like, well, what else can I do? And I just started to challenge myself. I became a college athlete, went back to swimming to a school in California. I got involved in leadership down there. I started doing the thing that scared me the most, which was public speaking. And then I found my passion for public speaking. And it's kind of something that Beachbody has given me the opportunity to do and to help other people along the way. So that was kind of the turning point in my life. And from that point on, and losing my dad and not always having a very loving family structure growing up, I just took that time to really figure out who I am, and what I wanted with my life. And I knew for sure, as simplistic as it sounds, I wanted to be happy. I wanted a wife that I could love every day. I wanted kids that I could raise from home. And I wanted family. You know, that's the core of who I am and what I want. And I'll kind of go into later after Dominique talks how that ties into Beachbody. So up until then, or what led to it all was meeting this beautiful woman. So I'll let her kind of take it over.
So actually, the day that we met up again, we had a conversation. At that time, I was working at Nordstrom. I just graduated from college and actually finally got my dream job that I thought I was going to have after graduating from college. And I was super excited. And I was telling Eric about this job that I had. And I will never forget the words that he said to me after I was like super excited. I was telling him about it, and he's like, "Do you really want to do that?" Because I was super excited. I was like finally able to have my dream job, working this 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and I was super excited. And he didn't think otherwise. And I was like, "Well, what else like would I do?" And he was talking about like a life of freedom and being able to travel and work from home. And I kind of thought he was crazy, but we still kept dating because we're married now. But kind of why I had those thoughts is from growing up. And so I grew up in a single family home. So it was just my mom and I. And she worked every day, all day. Even till now, she still works 2 jobs, even though she only has to work 1. But that's kind of the life here on Maui. You have at least 2 jobs, and it's just to make ends meet. And then I saw her just working my entire life. Like, she was still able to make like my gains because I was an athlete growing up as well. But I could still feel her struggle throughout the day. And so for me, what I wanted to do is like pay back to her, like repay all the sacrifices that she made, all the hard work that she has done for me. So my thought was what every other person would think is go to school, go to college, get that job, and you'll be set. So that's what I did. I went to college. I played soccer a couple years during college, and then I graduated with a degree. And then during college, I also gained really unhealthy habits. So I kept eating the same way as I did throughout high school because I could. I was playing soccer. I was really active. But when I stopped playing those sports, it caught up to me because I really didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to work out because it was just so natural. So I gained all these unhealthy habits. I partied a lot. And then I was just so overwhelmed that I would emotionally eat. At one point I was in my darkest days, and I would just binge eat a lot. I would drink a lot, but I didn't really realize what I was doing. And every time someone would ask me if I was okay, I just still had a smile on my face because that's just the person I am. But it wasn't until I met Eric.
I had to screw it all up.
It wasn't until I met Eric, we had that conversation, and a couple months into that dream job that I had, I realized how unhappy I was, not only with the job that I had, but with my health and my body. At that point, I gained a little bit over 25 pounds. I was really self-conscious about myself. I had really low self-esteem, and I kept questioning. I had these questions while I was working, like, do people really just work just because? Like, are they actually really happy doing what they're supposed to do? Or I just knew that there was something more. And so it wasn't until, I worked like all day and we didn't really have time to work out. So that's kind of how we found Beachbody. So like how Eric mentioned, we tried P90X3. We would dabble in it just a little bit. for a couple weeks and then fall off, and then try it again for a couple weeks and then fall off. And it just wasn't the program for us. And it wasn't until we moved to Maui exactly 2 years ago to the state, that's where you see that picture right there, that we decided, you know what, we're making this change and just enough is enough. We're going to figure out what we need to do. And that's what we did. Eric found Body Beast and I found 21 Day Fix, and Eric gained 20 pounds from that, and I lost the 25 pounds that I gained and earned so much more. I have confidence that I never thought that I would have. I'm here speaking in front of you all, which is huge for me. And I'm shooting for bigger goals. I'm starting to compete in a bikini competition, which I never thought I would have done. So it's just given us just really big.
Opened up our minds.
Yeah, opened up our minds and
like kind of gave us permission to dream big.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So that's kind of how we got introduced to Beachbody. And like she said, we focused on our own transformations for about a year and really fell in love with how it changed us, just like Karen was talking about, not just the physical part, but emotionally. You know, it's so much more about that for us and just that mental release each day. And we just fell in love with doing Beachbody workouts. And then at that time, when we got here, we were also working a lot. So she was dancing every night, and she was teaching like 15 classes a week. And then I was working in the mornings at a coffee shop. And then while she was at the luau at night dancing, and she didn't really know what I was doing, I spent a lot of time, because we had heard about coaching at that point. And I spent most of the nights just like researching YouTube and coaching. And that's where I was first introduced to Scotty. And she makes fun of me now that's where kind of like my man crush was created. But it was like, dude, you're living the life I want to live. You know, so I studied everything I could about him and his family. And it was just like we want 4 kids. They got 5. We're not going to go there. You know, it's like he works from home. I want to work from home. So it was like everything clicked. And so we were working in time, but then we started just learning about what the whole coaching thing was all about. And never even talking to Scotty, never reaching out to him, just kind of stalking his YouTube videos for a while. And then it wasn't until him and his family came out to Maui almost 2 years ago. And then I messaged him and just like, hey, we should meet up out here. I'd love to take you guys out to dinner or something. I couldn't afford it, but I pretended like I could. And then I was expecting to meet this like rock star, right? Celebrity, like top male coach in the company. I was expecting to meet this guy with a fancy suit, you know, driving a limo, something like that. And he pulls up because we meet at Dominique's luau, and they're going to watch her luau that night. And he pulls up, and his kids are running all over the place, and he's wearing like sneakers and like a tank top and board shorts. And I'm like, this guy's just a regular dude, you know? And then I got to hang out with him and see their family. And I was like, oh, he really is just a normal dude who just like committed himself to something. And so that for me, that opened up, okay, like we really could do this, you know, if we really wanted. It lifted that belief in myself. And then I'll never forget that night that he came out and we got to meet up with him. And I asked him like, Scotty, what is the difference, you know, between those coaches who do well in this thing and succeed and those who don't? And I will never forget what he told me. He looked me in the eye and he was like, Eric, honestly, the ones who succeed are just the ones who make the decision and then they show up every day with passion and energy. I was like, oh, that's it. That's simple. I could do that. So we met out, you know, he took off and then we got started a little while after that. And then Dominique, like I said earlier, went diamond her first 6 days as a coach. And I won't say that. Like she just took off right away, you know, and I was gonna brag about her, but I'll do it anyway. But like, I think as far as I know, that's the fastest in Beachbody that anyone's gone diamond. So I think that's really cool. But it was because, you know, we worked on our own fitness for like a year and we've been studying and everything like that up until then. So we got a hot start. And then, you know, everything started to change. Like our whole lives started to change within the last year. We've been coaches for just over a year now. And really what that's meant to us, especially at the beginning, it was a family that we felt like we were part of. Like we really felt like we were part of this family. The reason why she went diamond so quick is because Scotty was doing a team retreat in the Dominican Republic, and there's a certain deadline. And she was like, she had never been out of the country, and I hadn't either. And it was like, and we'd always talked about, dreamt about traveling and everything. So she earned that trip. And then she took me as a guest on there. And so we got to go out to the Dominican Republic, just see what the whole community and family is all about. And I mean, we fell in love, with what this thing is all about. And this last year we've traveled more in our lives than I think we have our whole lives. Yeah. Like Scotty said earlier, we went to Europe for a month and got to go all over there. And it wouldn't have been possible, if we didn't kind of take that leap of faith. And we've been able to go to Jamaica, the Bahamas for Beachbody has, we'll talk more about this later, but Success Club trips. And so the first year, this past year, we've really focused on helping people get results, right? That's kind of what we do as coaches, help them transform their minds, their bodies through our challenge groups. We're kind of the online support for them. But the last few months, we had a big shift in our mindset and kind of the way that we look at this business. Instead of just helping people, with their health and fitness, which is what we do, we wanted to create that same team, that same family that we felt with Scotty's team. So we went to Nashville, and we had, in this bottom right picture, we had two of our coaches there, Chris and Nicole. And it was the coolest thing in the world we had dreamt so long to have our own team. And even though it was two people, it was amazing just to be like, we have a team, we have a family, we have people who are here. It's the coolest thing in the world. And
ever since then, it's just been like, this is actually possible, because ever since then we have grown to have a bigger team now. And this is mostly this is like the exciting part. It is exciting to see, help people with their transformations and all that, but to be able to give this even more amazing opportunity to others and share it to others as well is also exciting too. So
it's the coolest damn thing in the world. It is. So I guess just what this last year has done for us is just shown us what's possible. Seeing Scotty and being able to raise our kids from home. We're not even planning on having kids for a couple years, but every day, and maybe I'm crazy, but I'm I got to work hard today for the kids that we're going to have in a couple years, so that we can be there in their lives. I don't want to have to miss a day of our kids' life because we have to be at work, because we have to be at a job. So seeing that through Scotty, seeing in the middle here is Jen Greenberg, which is one of Scotty's coaches. And if you meet her, she is a little reserved, just like us. And she is a shy person, and you would have no idea that she's $1 million earner with Beachbody. And you have no idea. And that's just kind of what this coaching opportunity is. It literally can be for anyone if you just apply yourself and stay consistent. And then the last one here is Scotty's coach, Lindsay Matway. And this is her fitness transformation. But what we've been most inspired about her is I think she had it was something like $400,000 worth of medical bill debt when she got started. And then she's been able to pay that off. And when I went to Scotty, I was and he talked about paying off his home, which was $150,000. Well, we have, I think we did the math the other day, we have $120,000 worth of student loan debts. And that's always been, you guys all know kind of that, that's in the back of your mind that you never really want to think about or open up the webpage and look at, but it's there and it's kind of keeps you up at night. Well, that's our, that's our fear, is that debt. But what this has really been able to do is help us start to actually take control of that and just give us that belief that we don't have to be stuck with the student loan debt for the next 20 years.
And this also just shows that whatever that the reason that you do become a coach, this shows that the possibilities are endless. So whether it's getting a little bit extra cash for a manicure, you know, like once a month, or whether it's to be able to have more kids, or to be able to work off that debt that you have. Like, it is possible for you to accomplish that, and that's kind of what coaching has done for us.
And like Karen said, you know, it's not about the money, but it is about the options you can create in your life. And probably the best thing is that you can give to other people, you know? Like, I think that's the best thing that we can do with our money. Like, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. We got to get moving here. So that's our story. That's kind of what brought us to coaching and where we're at now. That's Karen's story. And that was a little bit about Scotty. Now we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of what exactly a Beachbody coach is. Because it's confusing, right? Like, you see us posting on social media each day, and we're like sweaty selfies and traveling, and you're like, what the heck do they actually do besides get on social media and eat peanut butter? So that's what we're going to talk about now. So this picture is just kind of funny to me. Most people kind of think a Beachbody coach is just someone who's taking money, who just wants to rip you off. And I'll be straight up with you guys and completely transparent. We're not here to sell you anything tonight. We're not here to convince you or anything like that. We're just here to share what a Beachbody coach is. And so my mom, my mom just thinks we're this kind of crazy Shakeology drinking fool. And then, yeah, you can look at the rest. I just thought that was funny, so I threw it up there. And so what a Beachbody coach is someone who is fallen in love with the products, with the fitness programs, the meal plans, with Shakeology, and just truly believes in helping other people. And it's someone who either like has already started their fitness journey, like we did it, you know, for a year, or it's someone who's at the beginning of their journey. Because what you'll notice as a coach is, like, if you're accountable for not only yourself but other people, like, you're going to make sure you get that workout in each day. You're going to be that leader. So a lot of people are kind of confused. They're like, well, I'm not in great shape yet. Does that mean I can still be a coach? And absolutely. It's wherever you're at, your part of life. And then someone who believes they're meant to do more than just, like Dominique was talking about, the 9 to 5. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was someone who was meant to do anything great in my life. But once we surround ourselves with people who are setting big goals and who are dreaming and going after them, it lifts that own belief system in yourself. So maybe you don't even feel like that's you right now, but I guarantee you, just being in that type of environment, being in that kind of community, it'll start to lift that belief.
So what a lot of people think that Beachbody coaches are, where it's actually not. So you don't have to, like how Eric said, already be in top shape. You don't have to be certified in personal training or be a specialized nutritionist. You don't have to.
Well, I just wanted to add, it's not a get rich quick scheme at all. It actually takes a lot of discipline, a lot of work, and it does take time. And it's something that we, like Karen was saying too, like, we would do this for free, and basically we did. We learned all about it for like a year for free. But it's a process. You know, we're not going to tell anyone that they're going to become a millionaire or anything like that, but it is possible. And I know your chances are going to be a lot higher just being around people like that, right? So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, nothing like that. Team Beachbody, so the whole coaching opportunity didn't actually come around until 2008 or 9. But Beachbody itself was created back in 1998, and it was started by Carl Deichler, who's the CEO, and John Congdon. And it was basically just a infomercial. You know, they sold fitness DVDs, and you see them all the time, the P90X, 21 Day Fit. You see all the infomercials, and that's all they did for the first 10 years, because they realized not everyone can go to the gym, and that they can create more effective programs that you can do from home. You know, not everyone wants to go to a gym. You know, so that's kind of what they first got started with the core mission of ending the trend of obesity in America, because it's up to I think it's almost 33% of Americans are either overweight or obese. And let me just say that again, that's like 228 million people in the United States. So obviously there's a huge need, and there's a lot of confusion when it comes to health and fitness. Like if you watch TV for 20 minutes, you'll see you see all the crap that's out there. So that's how Beachbody all started. Coaching basically was created unintentionally, I would say, because what they found is, they could sell a bunch of fitness DVDs to people through the infomercials, but people weren't actually getting results unless, or more so if they were in they had a message board, a community board on their website. So that's where people were just helping each other out, supporting each other to start and finish the programs. So it was kind of created naturally. Like Carl Deichler was just kind of like, well, if these people are the ones who are actually getting people results, maybe we can, reward them. Maybe we can give them a chance to make this their career, so that they can stay at home and help people get in shape. So it was kind of created naturally and unintentionally, the Team Beachbody coach opportunity. And that's basically like what we are. It's the human element. It's the accountability, not just for the health and fitness side, but also a way out of the 9 to 5, just a different opportunity that, like Dom said, not many people even realize or think of growing up. And then we touched on that, what it's all about. So before Team Beachbody, it was, we missed it. Sorry. That's okay.
No, that isn't. So with Team Beachbody, we kind of go off of like 3 different groups. So the nutrition side, which is like Shakeology and the meal plans, the supplements, fitness side, which is all of the workout programs, which we'll kind of go into after this. And then the support side, which that's what we're here for, the coaching side of it. And then also we provide challenge groups, which also helps with the accountability that goes with the support. So
you've probably heard of a lot of these are the programs and what Beachbody's created or put out there since the coach opportunity was created. Shakeology is the big one. That's our dense nutrition shake, and we'll talk about that later. Insanity, we've heard of a lot about these. Turbo Fire, P90X, all the P90X series. Body Beast was the one. So there really is like something for everyone. It's not just Shaun T workouts. It's not just insane P90X, but there's, PIO and 21 Day Fix, which is the majority of the people that we help is we get them started with 21 Day Fix because it's simple workouts, 30 minutes a day you can do from home. And then also probably more importantly is the portion control nutrition system. So that's like kind of our go-to meal plan. That's what we started with and helped me specifically start to understand nutrition, because as an athlete, nutrition meant my stomach's full and I'm good, opposed to actually thinking about what we put into our body. So there's a ton that Beachbody's put out since. We'll talk a little bit more about those, go into them. But nutrition side, so I was talking about Shakeology. Shakeology is our go-to nutrition shake, meal replacement, pre or post-workout, kind of however it's best for you. So I'll be honest, when Dom first told me about Shakeology, I was like, I don't need that. I'll stick to my Costco whey protein, But of course, once your wife starts doing it, you're going to start doing it too. So I realized through that process, I sucked at eating vegetables. I had no really idea what balanced nutrition was all about. Like I said, I just ate until I was full. And so I started drinking Shakeology mostly because she did. And it's amazing. Like I talked about earlier, I used to work at a coffee shop and I was drinking like at least 3 or 4 coffees a day. And that's what I thought I needed to get through the day, energy-wise, level-wise. And then I started drinking this, and I maybe have like a cup of coffee a day now. But this gives me just more of that natural energy. So it's full of, yes, it's got your protein, and it's got like dense nutrition and all these superfoods and natural ingredients. But it's more just like for those people, well, it's for everybody, but like especially if you have a tough time with like the vegetables, getting all that stuff you do need to eat each day, then it's going to help you out.
And it just gives so much more. It's more than like I know a lot of people like already, like how Eric said, already have a protein shake. And it's so much more than that. It has like all those superfoods. Like personally for me, it's giving me so much energy. I used to take naps every second that I could, had the lowest energy, and now I barely take any. And it's also helped keep me full, and it like gets rid of my sweet cravings. So if I want dessert, I'll have a chocolate Shakeology, which is awesome. And then as you see on the right, those colored containers, that was like heaven sent down for me. So like kind of, I was talking about growing up as an athlete, I kind of just ate everything and anything. And I kind of kept with those habits up until college. And then I forgot to mention this, but I kind of didn't know how to eat. Because then also you hear all these different things, like you shouldn't eat carbs, you should only eat protein, you know, you should eat all fats, or, you know, you just hear all these different things. And I just didn't know how to eat anymore. And this kind of just like simplified everything and told me exactly what I needed to eat, how much I needed to eat. And I was actually eating everything. It was just portioned, which I think was amazing. And it just like turned my whole thought of eating around. And I feel like a lot of people have that issue as well. So I think this is an amazing way for people to know, and especially like with Eric, who's not really good with nutrition, it's just simple to follow, which I think is awesome.
So the support side is basically like the coach opportunity. It's what we're here for. There's what we do as coaches is like, it's a loaded question. So I'm going to break it kind of down. So we lead people, help support them through their programs, right? So we have our customers, we help out, just complete the program from start to finish. We're checking in with them. We have them, like Don was saying, in challenge groups. So now we have a free app that they can do to log their workouts in each day. And they'll also, like what Dominique and I call it, is like positive peer pressure. You know, when you're surrounded by other people working out, logging their workouts each day, eating clean, just more positive thoughts, then you're going to start to change the way you think. You know, so fitness-wise, we do like the challenge groups. As far as like our team, we have our team page, and then we have weekly team calls. So we call it Wine and Why Wednesdays. This is just our specific team, but it's just a chance for us to get together. And that same, we created because like the same community and just like family we felt when we go on Scotty's trips and a part of his team, we wanted to create that into a weekly basis. So we get on there and we just open up and just talk about, excuse my language, but like real shit, you know, because like we go through life and everyone kind of always has that smile and says I'm fine and I'm good, but things aren't always like that. So we talk about what's really going on and just kind of support each other. And then we also do a lot of like our training on there. So all the training that you would need as a coach is in those, like your teams. Scotty has team weekly calls. The national wake up call is like Beachbody's opportunity to bring on one of their top coaches. And I don't know many companies in America that will bring their top leaders and share with you their secrets, right? And that's what they do. And it's an amazing resource just to have people who truly want you to succeed and truly want to help you out. And then, like we're saying, we have like the team trips that we do. It's really focused, and Coach Summit we have every year. So this last year, Dominique and I went. It was our first time. We went to Nashville. And if you look, I know this black and white picture is kind of tough to tell, but there's like over 25,000 coaches. We took over Broadway to have a big like super workout. And there's over 450,000 coaches across the country. But this is just kind of that yearly meeting to come together. And like you would not believe the energy that is packed into like that weekend. You know, just like seeing those people coming together, training, learning from each other, but probably more importantly, like the friendships you're going to make. That's what has stuck out to us the most, is like we really do feel a part of something bigger than ourselves with this thing. So the reward side as a coach, obviously the commissions are what are able for us to leave our jobs if that's a goal that you have to become a full-time coach. And we have, when we'll talk a little bit more about that later, there's the bonuses for your team growth. So you, especially like as a leader, are growing, not only helping your challengers and helping them through the programs, but also helping your team. Like you don't really succeed as a coach unless you're able to train and teach your team to create results and success in their lives. There's also, like I was talking about, the trips. So there's the Success Club trip once a year. There's the Coach Summit trip once a year. We have Super Saturdays, we call them. So every 3 months, every quarter, there's a local Super Saturday. There's a ton of them all over the country. Basically, we come together, we work out together. Coaches come up and share their training, share their secrets, and it's just a place to meet more people and to be a part of that family. The recognition side is something that Beachbody really pushes hard. If you do, like if you've done a fitness program, like once you finish, they'll send you, your free shirt. But then what's cool too is they also, every day they pick a winner for that, a $500 daily winner. So just for like submitting your results with Beachbody, you're automatically entered into the contest to win $500. And they do that every day. They also have like $5,000 winners. They have yearly $100,000 winners. What we're doing right now is called a health bet. So they put in a pot of $1.6 million. And then everyone who logs into the Challenge Group app, logs 3 workouts and 5 Shakeologies a week, they're going to give you a split of that pot. So they're huge on, helping you obviously money-wise, but anything you can add free. Our kitchen is half full of like Beachbody and Shakeology, just like free gifts that they send you, for hitting your goals each month. And then anything you can imagine. And on our team too is something we really, really, really work hard for, is to recognize each other, right? Because like when I worked at a coffee shop, I didn't get recognized for making a great latte or a great cappuccino, right? It's not really prevalent in the work environment that most companies have, but what we do is we recognize each other, not just for like the big rewards or the big accomplishments, but literally all those small things, getting your workout in each day. Like just this week, we've had someone message us that they lost 8 pounds since drinking Shakeology. Another girl texted me saying that she has relieved like a ton of lower back pain just from starting like the free yoga challenge we do. So recognizing, lifting people up is really what we do, is kind of your role as a coach.
And so not only are there like material rewards, but like also just being able to learn is something really huge, and like personal development, which is also really huge. Like being able to grow as a person, I think is the biggest reward that you're going to get.
And especially a part of this team, because right, Success Leaves Clues, and like what Scotty has done is really put an emphasis on the personal development side. So reading books, listening to audios. I'll tell you, that's what's above anything else changed my life in the last 5 years, is from picking up that first book. So that's when I knew like this is where I'm supposed to be, an environment where we improve not just like our finances or our career, but it comes down to everything. Like our marriage is better because of it. It's your relationship, it's your confidence, your self-esteem. Any area of your life you want to improve, we help you work on that. So what does a typical day look like as a Beachbody coach? We call these the 4 vital behaviors. And Beachbody coaching really is as simple as these 4 vital behaviors. So every day we are proof the products work. So what that means is we do one of the Beachbody program workouts. So we start and finish programs. They're 3 days, 21 days, 60 days, 90 days. But we're focused on finishing those programs because that's when people get results. The second thing we do, like we were just talking about, is personal development. Anytime we're driving, anytime we're doing the dishes, making food, any chance at all, I have personal development going in the background because I need my mind to be really structured, right? Because there's so many years of doubts and insecurities and negative self-talk going on in there that I need positive thoughts coming in. And it's not just like to fluff you up, like, like those YouTube videos, like, you are great, you are amazing. But it's like real stuff to take your life head on. Hear things that are sometimes uncomfortable, because personal development only works if you get uncomfortable and you face those things that you're challenged with, and then start to work to overcome them. The third body behavior is, we call it attract, connect, invite. And basically, you can't help people if you have no one to help, right? So like, we invited you guys all to this call tonight. Like, we invite people to our free challenge groups we do, to our regular challenge groups we do, to our, what else do we do? Invite them to?
Just a phone call to see
call.
Like what your goals are. Because truly, like, from day one, and I know this is how it is for everyone else too, like, we truly want to help you, whatever it is. If you have a fitness goal, if you have nutrition goals, any financial goals, or if you just need someone to talk to, that's what we're here for. So inviting any of those, connecting, that kind of goes with, reaching out to you, building those relationships with other people. And then attracting is through social media. So using Facebook, social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you would want to, whatever platform you decide to use, do that.
And that's how we bring the right people that we can help. Like you said, it's all about figuring out their goals and helping them achieve them. And then the last vital behavior is recognition. We were just talking about that a lot, but on a daily basis, that looks like recognizing our coaches on our team. So we go into our team page, we shout people out for all the small little things. And same thing in our challenge groups, just boosting people up and putting them in the spotlight. So these are just, we'll quickly go through these. These are our core values, Dominique and I, on our team, perspire to inspire. And a lot of them were inspired from Scotty and learning from him. And we help people no matter what. That's been our thing since day one. It doesn't matter if someone never buys anything from us, we're going to help them, because that's our job as a coach. A core value that we live by is the idea that your income as a coach is always going to be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. So it's not about the number of challenge packs you sell or Shakeologies you sell, but it's a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. So this culture, especially our team, is people who've known defeat, they know struggle, they know failure, and through the tough stuff of life, you kind of find the strength that you didn't know you had. That's the people that we want on our team. We don't, we want everyone, but that's kind of who we attract especially. And then the second last one is just being the best that you can be, because we know that you're so much stronger than you may even know yet. And this is a family. This is what this whole thing is all about. So the question comes, how do I get started? If this is something that you could see that would fit into your life, there's a couple options for getting started and being a part of our team or Scotty's team, whoever invited you here tonight. The first one is to get started as a coach. This is what we did, Karen did, Scotty did. A lot of coaches in here got started with the coach. And how you kind of get started is with a challenge pack. So a challenge pack is basically your fitness program and your Shakeology with the meal plan and recipes, all that good stuff. And so that's going to be kind of everything you need to get started with your fitness journey. And when you do it that way, your $39.95 coach enrollment fee is waived. So just to give you an idea, challenge packs are usually between $140 to like $200. The majority of them are about $140. So, I mean, just to put it into perspective, you can start your own business with a $140 investment, which is insane to me. Because if you think of like say like a 7-Eleven or a franchise, anything like that, it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get the doors open, So that's why we treated this thing like a 6-figure, 7-figure business since day one. Because if you treat it like a $140 business, you get paid like it's a $140 business. But we treat this like a huge business because that's where we know our team is going. So that's kind of the first option. You can start with the challenge pack. You can also, if you're getting started as a coach, just get Shakeology Home Direct and then pay for the $39.95, or get a fitness program and paid for the $39.95. I wouldn't suggest that because you'll end up spending more money than if you were just to get a challenge pack. And Dom and I know we're trying to save money here. We want to help you guys save money. So that's honestly the best option we would suggest getting started. It also, like I said, it comes with the fitness, the Shakeology. It also comes with Beachbody On Demand, the club membership, which is basically any Beachbody program that you saw earlier, anything you can imagine, they have it on. It's like the Netflix of home workouts, and so it's available on your app or accessing that online. So that's the option if you wanted to get started as a coach. You could also, if you're just not ready to start coaching, there's the option to get started as a customer. It's the exact same price as a coach. And again, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you would end up saving more money if you were going to keep drinking Shakeology after the first month. You would get that 25% discount that you get as a coach, and it's going to end up saving you more money. So we have a lot of people who aren't ready to actually coach and help other people yet, but they're just focused on their own health and fitness transformation. So they get signed up as a coach just for the discount. So those are kind of the two options, the main options for being a part of this team, being a part of this family, and getting really serious about your health and fitness journey. And I talked about that, just comparing it to a franchise. So that's Beachbody Coaching in a nutshell. We tried to keep it under an hour for you guys because, like I said, time is the most valuable thing. And we really appreciate you guys taking the time to just listen to our stories and see if this is something that would fit into your life. So from here, make sure to reach out to the coach who invited you here and just let them know where you're at, what you took away from it, what your thoughts are. And we're here, again, just to help you in whatever direction, whatever goals that you have with your life. So that's all we got for you guys. If you have any questions, we'll be around for a little bit. I'll toss it over to Scotty if you want to say anything else. Close it out. You got rid of the kid there. So
Awesome. Hey, if you could end that share, then I can see everybody, the whole screen of everybody. So, hey, thank you, Eric and Dominique and Karen, for sharing your stories. And also thanks to everyone that came on the call. I'm giving my kids some food right now. I got one wrapped up. He's screaming in the bedroom, so I got to rewrap him and put him back to bed after this. The real life of what it's like. So thank you guys for sharing tonight. Thank you guys for coming on. And what I want you to do is to reach out to the person that invited you to this call today and ask them or let them know how you feel this will fit into your life the best, which aspects you like the best. Talk about what you really need in your life or where you're struggling. Just open up to them and see if we can come up with a solution for you guys. We'd love to have you guys be a part of the team and the family. We're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives. So thank you guys for hopping on here. This is recorded, so if you know somebody that might need to hear these stories or the message or learn a little bit, just know that you can share it with them as well. So hope you guys have an incredible night, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.